This is the latest edition of Front Up, and I'm Whitey Willauer, and I've got a very interesting guest today, Andy Reis. Now, Andy, what are you doing nowadays? What's your bag nowadays?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Whitey. It's great to be on your show. I'm working with an Nantucket Emergency Food Pantry. I'm the director there, and as you know, with this economy, the pantry's been very busy over the last 3 or 4 years.
Sure. And you're what, in the basement of the Episcopal Vestry on Fair Street?
Yes. Yep. The parish house. We're in the basement of St. Paul's Parish House.
Okay. I had the name wrong, but it's all there. That's great. And you say it's the business is increasing because the economy is down. Is that what's happening?
Well, I'm not an economist, but I gather that's the reason why we keep seeing the demand on the food pantry increase from year to year. We keep breaking previous year's record. So the indication is that
business is up when business is down.
Right. So when I tell people, things are up, it's not a good thing.
I see. So how much, let's say, how much has it been increasing from year to year, your business?
Well,
your clients.
Right. 2009, we saw a 150% jump from the previous year. 2010, we saw another 23.5%.
Yeah.
This past year, it's slimmed down a little bit. We saw a 3.5% increase.
Yeah.
The trend was not quite as steep as the previous years, but I can tell you, our fiscal year starts July 1. And we're already up year to date 22.5%.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So the economy is still needs more support.
It seems to.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're the canary in the coal mine, but when I saw September, we saw a 91% increase over last September. That's
wow. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So what are you doing about paying for all of this? In other words, how do you finance yourself?
Well, we get funded. We do get a grant, as you know, from the town, which really only covers about 10% of our budget. So most of our funding comes from individual donations. We have a couple of big grants. Bank of America gave us a large grant last year, and hoping we're going to get another one this year. There's fundraisers, and that's really why I came on to talk to you today about a fundraiser that we're excited about, October 15th.
Well, tell me about the fundraiser now that you brought it up.
Okay. Well, we normally we have an annual fall fundraiser called the Chef's Dinner. And this year, for various reasons, scheduling conflicts, we weren't able to do it, so we decided we needed to replace it with some sort of event, and I came up with the cast of Beatlemania.
Beatlemania. Now tell me about Beatlemania.
Well, Beatlemania is, first it was a phenomenon back in the 60s when the Beatles came to America. And then in the 70s it became a Broadway show. And then they traveled around the country. And essentially it's the sights and sounds of the Beatles. And it's a group that comes on stage. They have 3 costume changes. They come out in the early years, the Ed Sullivan years. They look, act, sound like the Beatles. So it's like being at a Beatles concert.
I see. So it's a lot of fun.
It's a blast.
It's a blast. How long did it last on Broadway?
A couple of years, 2 or 3 years maybe, and then it traveled. There's several traveling groups, and it's still going on today. And there's other groups that are doing it. There's a group called 1964, the Tribute. There's another group called Rain. But the cast of Beatlemania is on the East Coast, and we've had them here on Nantucket before.
Now, you getting the actual people that were on the original show, or I mean, you have a lot of talent in here.
Yes, I don't know how, in there they say that they have the excuse me, that they were in the original Broadway play. Now, I don't know how many of them, whether it's one or two or all of them, and I don't know how many were actually, if they were on Broadway or on the traveling show
Yeah.
that came out of the Broadway show.
So now, do you expect to sell out on this? I mean, what kind of results?
I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah.
It's a great cause, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun, and it's if you like the Beatles, you like their music, it's great fun, and it's a family show.
So you bring the kids,
You bring your kids.
and where do you buy your tickets?
You can get tickets online at foodpantry.tix.com. You don't put the www dot stuff in front.
Okay.
It's just foodpantry.tix.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or locally, we're going to be selling tickets maybe as soon as tomorrow at Mitchell's Book Corner.
Okay. And that's one. Any other spots? I mean, that's a great spot, but is that the sole place that you're going to be selling them?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think most people will go
Sure.
and buy them online, where you can do it with a credit card. At Mitchell's, you'll have to pay by check or cash only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you go? Let's talk about the food pantry
Okay.
and the benefits of the
Yeah.
food pantry. That's what really we should get to.
Yeah.
And for those who are listening who may need the food pantry,
They don't.
okay?
They don't know.
Because there's
yeah.
some, it could be tough this winter. Go for
Yeah.
it.
So the food pantry, it's located as we mentioned before at St. Paul's. Now, how would I get in there, and what's the process as far as if I felt that I needed it?
Well, it's very easy. We're open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And the food pantry is an outreach of the Interfaith Council. And the Interfaith Council has directed us to have no barriers to service. So the only barrier for people to get food is to step over that threshold. If you walk in that door, Whitey, and say you need food, you're going to walk out with food. It's very simple. We have an intake form that I actually fill out and you sign. It takes less than 2 minutes. Basic information, name, address, phone number. And we have great volunteers that are very sensitive. I think it's a very comfortable place to go.
What range of food do you have? I mean, you don't have cold cuts or anything else like that, do you?
We do give out for protein either a package of either hamburger or chicken drumsticks.
Mm-hmm.
We give out milk, cheese, eggs, bread, butter, and then we also give out various non-perishable items.
And where do you get these? Do you buy them from the stores, or do the stores donate them? How do you get the products?
We get some from the Greater Boston Food Bank, probably about 40%. I travel off island 3 times a month and get 3,000 pounds of food. We purchase some locally, and then some just come from donations. We probably purchase around 50% of the food we give out. 10% comes from food drives, and the other 40% from Greater Boston Food Bank.
Now, how much do they charge you from Greater Boston? Is that highly discounted, or what happens?
Almost everything I get there is either state program food or the federal government USDA food.
Mm-hmm.
So it's free to us. We just have to go and pick it up.
You have to go pick it up.
Yes.
So you drive over, go up and pick it up and bring it back down. 3,000 pounds.
Right. Well, I should say that I don't actually have to go to Boston. They bring 2 semi-trailer trucks down to Howich,
Mm-hmm.
3 days a month. So I just get on the early boat, go over, travel to Howich, pick up my food there, and then I get back on the boat and return to Nantucket.
So you get
and unload it.
You get a discounted package of taking your truck over there.
The steamship treats us very well.
That's good. What about fraud as far as a food pantry? People taking advantage and maybe reselling or such as that. Have you detected any of that?
I have not. That's a good question, Whitey. Occasionally people ask whether they think food pantries getting abused. And my answer to that is statistically, I've been keeping different numbers. Every year I try to find different new ways of getting statistics. And a client can come in and use the pantry 12 times in a 12-month period. Looking at the numbers, our average client uses the pantry 4.5 times a year. So to me, that indicates, if they were abusing it and taking advantage of it, that number, that average would be much higher.
Yeah, you would see a trend there. Yeah, that makes sense. And then if they were abusing it and giving it to friends that needed it, who cares?
That's right. It's still getting out to the needy.
Yeah, it's if they were selling it, be different. But obviously that couldn't be occurring if you keep those kind of numbers.
No, and we have a good relationship with the Stop and Shop. I think if they saw someone coming in and trying to bring products back in exchange for money,
that might be an interesting
they would
way.
let me know.
Yeah.
So I guess to answer your question, I don't, few people may take advantage of it, but predominantly people use it only when they need to use it.
Anything more you want to say about this? It's October 15th is the show.
October 15th at the Mary P. Walker Auditorium, 7:30 p.m. Ticket prices are $100, $45, $25, and $15 for students. And we hope everybody can support us and come out and have a great time.
That's great. Well, I think it'll be wonderful, and good luck on this. And it's great to have you back on the show here.
Great
Thank you very
to
much.
be here, Whitey.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.